everyone. How's everyone doing? Hi, Lizelle. Thanks for having me on. Brian, awesome story. How are we all connected to the beauty industry? Because that was my former 9 to 5 job. So my story is I come from a very poor background, right? I come from a family who had nothing because, as I've shared before, to those of you who are new here, I shared before that my mother was very sick my entire childhood because unfortunately, she had cancer since she was a child herself. And it's always been a very traumatic experience, but a financial burden because it destroys a family, right? Emotionally, spiritually, financially. We went from having a house where all of us had our own rooms, like my parents had their own bedroom, my sister and I both had our own bedrooms, we had a guest bedroom, we had everything, 2 cars and everything, and then my mother lost a job. It was a lot for my father to just, take care of the family on a single income. And we lost the house. We lost the cars and we had to move to a 2-room house. When I say 2-room house, I don't mean 2-bedroom house. I mean the entire house was just 2 rooms. And we had to squeeze our entire life into that house and survive. We had to cope. And 30 years ago, there was no work from home opportunities. There was no make money online opportunities. So if my mother could, she would have, right? Because she did everything right. She matriculated, she went to university, she got a degree, she was a chartered accountant, she was the first person in our family to go and get a degree. And the company did not care. They did not care about how much money she was making. They did not care that she did all the right things at her job. It was a liability for a sick person to be working at the company because she couldn't come into work every single day. And again, there were no such things as work from home opportunities, work from home positions, right? So they let her go. And it was devastating. But my parents did their best. We were always the family that walked into a store and walked out empty-handed. I don't know how many families can relate to that right now. How many parents can relate to going into a store but leaving without any shopping bags? Because that was my family. We always had to lay by clothing months in advance. And then my parents would pay off the installments so that we could have it. So those of you who haven't bought winter clothes yet, I don't want you to feel bad. Your kids understand. Your kids understand. But it was always so disappointing because they would always say, don't worry, you're going to have your clothes. You're going to have your brand new clothes in 3 months, right? And it was such a tough thing, guys, to hear as a child because you don't understand what your parents are going through. But a lot of you parents here can relate to that. And as soon as I could finish, let's fast forward, as soon as I could finish school, matric, I couldn't go and study. I couldn't go to university like my friends did because I needed to start working to support our household, to help my dad out, to help my mom out, to help my sister out, So I've always had to work and I could never just have one job. I always had more than one job. So I would try different things from surveys to teaching English online. I don't know how many people have tried surveys, guys, and they pay us like 30 Rand for a survey and you're spending so much time on that survey to waitressing here, waitressing there, doing this job, that job, everywhere, job, right? And all of that time away from your family, away from your friends, just all of the stress to just get by, And I remember always just feeling so tired, just always feeling like, why must my life be like this? Why must my life be a constant challenge? And even years later, while working a 9 to 5 job, I had a stable income, but I had nothing to show for it. So last year, I cried to my mother and I was saying to my mother, I know life took everything away from you, but by the time you were 28 years old, you could have at least said at one point you owned a car, a house, you were married, you had your children. I don't have any of that because times are just so different. The salary that I have, you could have paid for a house, like a bond, right? With the salary that I have and take care of your family and everything. I don't have anything. All I have is enough to cover debit orders, to help out with groceries at home, and to go to work again. But I don't have anything, no luxuries whatsoever. And I'm working as a teacher at night and on the weekends to supplement my 9 to 5. Like, That's not fair. And I remember crying, and my mother said, well, why don't you look for other opportunities online then if you feel that way? Because, your moms want the best for you. But then I told her about digital marketing, and I told her about the income potential, and she said, that's a scam. She said, that's a scam. She's like, who makes hundreds and hundreds of dollars every single day in South Africa? That doesn't make sense. Think about it. You already work online as a teacher, but you're making $5 per hour as a teacher, right? Now you're telling me that somebody else is telling you can work for 2 hours per day and make $600 in a day, $900 in a day. That's not real. That's not real life. And I said, you know what? I'm going to try it anyway. I'm going to try it anyway because I can't end this year having achieved nothing again. So I started my journey in October of last year. And within my first 30 days of just following a step-by-step proven process, being in this incredible community, I made my first 6 figures. I made 100,000 Rand in South Africa just reselling digital products that I did not have to create. Fast forward 6 months later, like 7 months into my journey, I became the 5th millionaire in South Africa. And it's all because of this program. It's all because of people like Lizelle in our community, Cecilia, Michelle O'Neill, Victoria, Tim, and Nicholas. There's so many incredible people in our community. And I really want to say, guys, we've got a really exciting opportunity here tonight because Lizelle created a South African community because she saw a gap in the market. She created a community for us, which is so powerful because she's dedicating her time to offer us training, to bring you along in the journey because you need that, right? And what's even more better is that she's giving you an opportunity to learn from other 6 and 7 figure earners, right? So I even spoke to Lizelle and I said that I would love to offer some training myself. And she said, absolutely. And that's what I love about this community and this opportunity is that once you are empowered, you can empower other people as well. So I just want you to know that you can change your life if you take a decision today. Like, decide tonight that this is something that I want to do. Go back to the person who invited you to this webinar and tell them, I am ready and I want you to be on this journey with me because we're not going to leave you behind. We're not going to leave you behind. And as I always say, may the next half of the year be the best half of the year. And I need you to comment yes if you are in agreement that the next half of this year will be the best half of this year because this is what you deserve and you can do it. Don't be so afraid because we were all afraid. No, it's okay to be afraid because we were all afraid. But I need you to do it afraid. Do it nervous. Just do it because we're going to be there for you every step of the way. And Lizelle, as always, thank you so much for having me. You're absolutely wonderful, guys. Like, the South African community is growing and Lizelle's community that she's created is so impactful. It has made such a huge difference in my business already. Guys, you want to hop on. You want to hop on. We've got some incredible training coming for you. We're here for you always. So thank you again for having me. Thanks for letting me share.
You're having me in tears here. Oh my goodness. I'm so happy because, yeah, that's the reason I started it. And just like she said, and I remember you said in a previous testimony, you said you were never celebrated. And I remember feeling such a heartache because everyone deserves to be celebrated. And I'm so proud of you. I mean, look at all the comments. You are so amazing. And it's so nice, guys, that we want everyone to win. It's not that we're in competition. There's enough for all of us. You saw the stats. There's enough for all of us, and it's so amazing. I'm so inspired by your story. Thank you so much for sharing. And I'm so excited that you're doing training in the community. I'm so excited.
Can't wait. Thank you.
Yes, awesome.